Welcome to 8-Minute Finance, where we break down crypto, stocks, and everything money in about 8 minutes. I'm Ted, and today we're tackling Klarna's long-awaited IPO, ticker symbol KLAR. Let's jump in. Picture this. You're online shopping, you've got sneakers in your cart, but your bank account's giving you that don't do it energy. Then suddenly, boom, a shiny pink button appears. Buy now, pay later. That button? That's Klarna. Founded in Sweden back in 2005, Klarna turned boring installment plans into a lifestyle brand. Instead of charging everything to a credit card, they let people split up payments into bite-sized chunks. Fast forward 20 years, Klarna isn't just a checkout option. It's a global fintech brand, from Europe to the US. And now, Klarna is finally stepping onto Wall Street. The company just filed for its long-awaited US IPO under ticker symbol KLAR, planning to raise up to $1.27 billion. Shares are priced between $35 and $37, targeting a $14 billion valuation. This is a big rebound from 2022, when Klarna's private valuation dropped to just $6 billion. That's a steep fall from its pandemic-era peak of $45 billion, when buy now, pay later looked unstoppable. So here's the big question. Is this IPO a chance for Klarna to prove it belongs in the big leagues, or just another risky fintech gamble dressed up in pink branding? Let's start with Klarna's valuation roller coaster, because this ride makes Six Flags look calm. At its peak in 2021, Klarna was worth $45 billion, riding the e-commerce boom and lockdown shopping frenzy. BNPL, or Buy Now, Pay Later, exploded as people started financing everything from sneakers to gaming chairs. But then reality checked in. Inflation spiked, interest rates went up, and investors realized, hold up, lending short-term cash to people for impulse shopping might not be risk-free. Klarna's value crashed to $6 billion in 2022. Now, with this IPO, they're bouncing back to around $14 billion. That's a comeback, but let's be clear. Still way below the hype years. Why IPO now? Earlier this year, Klarna delayed plans because of market jitters tied to U.S. tariffs. But conditions have calmed, tech stocks are heating up, and Klarna sees its window. And they're not going it alone. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley are leading the IPO. These banks don't back meme stocks. They back companies they think can make money. That adds credibility. But hype doesn't equal guaranteed success. Remember WeWork? Big banks, huge valuation, global headlines, and then crash and burn. So Klarna's IPO feels like a comeback story. But the ending isn't written yet. To figure out if ticker KLAR is worth it, we need to look under the hood. Here's the good news first. Klarna is a household name in Europe, and it's making serious inroads in the US. BNPL isn't going away anytime soon. Younger consumers love flexible payments. Klarna also isn't just BNPL anymore. They've launched debit cards, shopping apps, and even banking features. Think of it like a fintech Swiss Army knife. Now the bad news? Money. Klarna is still losing it. In Q2 2025, their net loss jumped to $52 million, almost triple from $18 million a year earlier. Losses are shrinking long-term, but still, it's red ink. Then there's competition. A firm in the US, Afterpay, owned by Block, PayPal's BNPL. Klarna isn't the only player at checkout, and unlike Europe, in the US, they're still the challenger, not the leader. There's also regulatory risk. Governments are starting to scrutinize BNPL, asking whether it's fueling consumer debt. If regulations tighten, Klarna's growth could slow. So here's the balance. Klarna has brand power, big partnerships, and global reach. But it's also facing losses, heavy competition, and tighter regulation. That makes ticker KLAR an exciting story, but also a risky one. So what does Klarna's IPO really mean? Why is Wall Street paying so much attention? And should you, as a regular investor, even care? Let's break it down. First, it's a test for fintech. The IPO market has been quiet for nearly 2 years, especially for consumer-facing financial companies. Investors have waited for a big name to take the plunge, and Klarna is stepping up. If it performs well, it could open the door for Stripe, Revolut, or Chime. Think of it like the first kid jumping into a cold pool. If Klarna doesn't sink, others may follow. But if it struggles, it could scare off the whole sector. Second, it's a signal for BNPL. Buy now, pay later isn't new, but Klarna is one of the biggest names. The question, is BNPL just a pandemic trend, or is it here to stay? If Klarna gains investor support, it strengthens the case for Affirm, Afterpay, and PayPal's Pay in 4. If it fails, it may signal the model isn't profitable long-term. Regulators in the US and Europe are already circling, since BNPL makes borrowing almost too easy. That helps short-term spending, but raises debt risks. Third, it's a reality check for everyday investors. IPOs look flashy but aren't free money. Some create overnight millionaires, but many disappoint. Uber, Lyft, and Robinhood had huge IPO buzz, but weak stock performance. Klarna could play out the same way. The bigger question isn't, should you buy Klarna, but should you buy any IPO without research? That's why 8-Minute Finance is here, to break down the hype. Let's put Klarna's IPO into perspective. The company raised $1.27 billion at a $14 billion valuation. Not bad, but far below the $45 billion it once reached during the pandemic boom. That's a huge drop. Fresh capital is good, but sentiment has cooled. Still, Klarna has strong brand power. It partners with Nike, H&M, and other retailers worldwide. Millions use its app, and flexible pay-in-4 options remain attractive. But it's losing money while facing intense competition from Apple, PayPal, and traditional credit cards. So what should you take away? If Klarna succeeds, it's a green light for fintech, BNPL, and future IPOs. If it fails, it signals caution for the industry. And for everyday investors, remember, IPOs aren't lottery tickets. Sometimes they pay off, other times you're left holding the bag. If you're interested in buying KLAR but don't even have a trading account yet, grab my Robinhood link in the description. Sign up and we'll both get a free stock. More into crypto? Check out my Coinbase link to start your journey. Thanks for tuning in to 8-Minute Finance. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is KLAR the next big fintech winner or just another buy now, pay later regret? I'll see you in the next one.